Hey guys, it's Chair G Tables. So the end of the year has arrived, and I thought it would be nice if I could compile everything I contributed to last year. If you're subbed to my YouTube, I want to say sorry for the lack of Nutshack memes. I know that's the only thing that spices up your life, but sorry. And if you've been following my Twitch, sorry if I haven't been streaming lately, but thanks anyways for being patient with me, because I've been doing something else, which is game development. And if you're new to my channel, I want to say that this channel is not about game development, it's all about memes. But I feel like this year has been a bit nice to me, so I want to share it with you guys. If you're particularly interested in owning a specific game, feel free to go to that timestamp. Also know that you can check out all of these games on our website at lamedimension.moe. But with further ado, let's talk about the first game I released in 2017, which is Final Flames 2. Final Flames 2 is a beat-em-up game I developed mostly because Final Flames 1 had a really slow fighting pace. Final Flames 2, however, isn't actually my project. This game was started by our former lead developer of Lame Dimension, Mr. Prez, in 2011. A year later, however, the files were lost. He'd know that we were still in high school and we were stupid kids that never utilized a collaboration service, such as GitHub. We transferred our stuff through a USB drive, which is kind of weird. Anyways, I was able to find an outdated backup in one of my USB drives around 2016, and I proposed that we should continue this. Unfortunately, Mr. Prez left Lame Dimension around January 1, 2017. At this point, everyone in Lame Dimension already left, and I was the only person in the team. But that didn't stop me. I tried to finish it myself, and I did, around May 5, which was Mr. Prez's birthday, so it was a perfect timing. I was, however, unable to complete the extended story arc, and I'm still working on it today. So version 2 will happen real soon. I currently don't know what games the former lead developer is developing now, but I do know that he started a Let's Play channel called $5 Productions, in which they buy Steam games under $5 and try it out. You should check out their channel if you're interested in Steam games less than $5. Next, I will discuss 4 games I developed for a game design class. I was excited that after 3 years of college, I was finally able to get into a game design class. So this class has 2 individual projects and 2 group projects. The first project I developed is called Super Combat Turbo Millenial Championship Edition HD Remix, featuring Dante from the Devil May Cry series. Jackpot! Yes, I have the whole thing memorized in my heart. So the first project requires us to make a 2-player game, where both players have to challenge each other. Our professor was looking for something like Quombat for Atari 2600. My project has somehow turned into a Suguri clone though. But I'm quite proud that this is my first completed Unity game. So I actually made 2 of the playable characters as in the assist characters from Final Flames 2. Player 1's character is Liz, but she's actually from another game called a Motu RPG, where she was just a default RPG Maker asset. Player 2's character is Shea Frossen, which is a pun on C++, and her design is based off Bjorn Strusa, which is basically the god of C++. The second game project of this class is called Misderekshawn, which is a pun on misdirection. You play as this dude named Derek, and you have to destroy the evil forces of Sensei Shawn, which is a pun in sensation. And yes, Derek is another assist character from Final Flames 2. So this project requires us to make an Angry Birds clone. If you know me, I absolutely want to stay away from making games suited for mobile apps. So I decided to turn this game into a boss rush game using Angry Birds logic. The first boss is named Go 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 Go, which is a reference to a name glitch in Secret of Mana. She dies in 1 hit. The second boss is Busted Scrap because it's a busted sketch sent by one of my friends. The third and final boss is actually based off one of my friend's art project for a class. Unfortunately, barely anyone in my class could beat this boss, so they couldn't really see the glorious death sound that this boss makes. Anyways, I still yet to have a proper ending for this game, but I ran out of time for the due date. The third game project was a mess. I had high hopes for this game, but it ended up being a huge buggy mess. This game is Motu Patlu, the game. The project's requirements is that we have to develop a game involving puzzles, just like the Lost Vikings for the SNES. We kinda based it off Chip and Dale for the NES though. We didn't really try bothering to continue it after the due date because, just like the Nutshack game, this meme is already dying, which means it will barely get any downloads. But don't get me wrong, I still love both memes, but I think I'd rather continue this gameplay for something else. And that's what I did for the final project, which is called Taihen Hentai. Taihen Hentai is a platformer that optimizes on the mechanics of Motu Patlu. Since we are able to pretty much do whatever we want, we're able to forget the puzzle focus of Motu Patlu and focus on what we love doing more, which is speedrunnable mechanics. So in this game, you have the ability to create platforms and air dash, which your air dash can be used to tackle enemies for you to get a balance boost. If you're wondering by now, why is your game called Taihen Hentai? Isn't this a school project? So in the class, we kind of censor the title as TH, not to be confused with Toho though. The main character's name is actually Hentai-chan, and she's from someone else's game series. That developer is known as Pinky Swear. Initially, I was going to make a sequel to this game called Hentai, but we kinda had a misunderstanding. He was actually making a sequel to Hentai. The project is categorized now as either a spin-off, a fan game, or a bootleg. Whatever is fine to me though. I just have a crush on the Hentai-chan free asset. Also, we initially planned to sell the game on Steam, but the misunderstanding made the developer tell us that we can only make it a free game on Steam. If you want to support the series though, you can go and buy his first game on Steam. Unfortunately, we are unable to get this game done for class. That's because we only had 1 to 2 weeks to work on it, and it was during final exams, which made it really difficult for everyone to set aside time for. We'll still work on it though, so that it can become a viable follow-up for the mechanics of Motu Patlu and another game I developed for another class, which is a Game Boy Advance Homebrew. Before we discuss about the GBA Homebrew, allow me to explain what this class is. This class is called Embedded Games Development, which is basically a class that teaches you how to develop a game for a system with technical limitations. One of our projects even involved making a game for the Atari 2600, and we had to come up with a story for it. Mine was called Aldobrando, where you're a burger running away from Chef Aldobrando's hungry customers. It's kind of based off a certain segment in VVVVVVV. Anyways, we are given the whole semester to develop a game for a system that we choose. Basically, everyone chose to develop a game for their mobile phone because Unity is easy. I, however, made the stupid decision to try being a cool dude and choose something for the Game Boy Advance. And this choice made things worse when my roommate, Sonny, wanted to develop for the GBA as well. We heavily regret making this decision. You see, we're actually really dumb when it comes to programming. I myself actually don't like programming. I just like making games. But this has no engine. We don't even have a user interface. I was going through a bunch of tutorials and I was freaking out. Some of them even dated back all the way to early 2000s. Some of the links are dead too. But I was glad when I found Kyle Halliday's tutorial. I was genuinely surprised when there were new tutorials in 2017 for GBA development. But his tutorial, along with Tonk, made things easier to understand. But that doesn't mean GBA game development was easy for me. I still had a hard time trying to understand how all of these stupid registers work. His last tutorial is on animations and jumping. But I said, what if I continue this and turn into a full platformer with a focus on speedrunning? And thus, My Wings Can Fly was born, which is a game about a broke college student named Hazuki-chan who can no longer afford a college tuition. So she sets out on a mission to get magical healing powers. Spoiler alert! She gets magical healing powers, but still couldn't achieve her dreams of becoming a doctor because she doesn't have the degree to get hired as a doctor. The game is really short anyway, so the spoiler isn't much of a surprise. It's literally 30 seconds of gameplay. I just ran out of time developing it, so the game's really short. And that is why I decided to reuse its mechanics for Taihen Hentai. Now let's transition to my senior projects class. Basically, everyone in their computer science program needs to have a big project done before they can graduate. And this is a bit of a big deal because companies go to our class so that they can recruit people to work on their project idea. Me and my team, however, chose not to have a sponsored project. In fact, we might be the only team in our class with a game project that's not virtual reality. Our project is just straight up a game that doesn't really provide anything new to research. We just want to make a game. So at the end of the semester, we are required to have a prototype build of the game ready. We, however, decided to make a prototype that's also a game of its own. And this would be the Quarter game, which is also the first game that Link Dimension has released on Steam. Funny enough, we only spent 24 hours on this game along with Flying Pudding Studios, and the game ended up being quite decent for a prototype. In fact, the main reason why we put this on Steam is so that we could get feedback for the non-prototype, which is called Super Ledge Hop Double Laser. But that doesn't stop there. Super Ledge Hop is actually a prototype of a much bigger secret project that I'm working on that would take years to complete. So basically, the Quarter game is a prototype of a prototype. I am very happy with the reviews we have, along with their feedback on how to improve our mechanics. Except for this memer right here who gave us the only negative review with absolutely no information to derive from. I can go longer on this video, but I don't think I could talk a lot about them actually. For graphics class, I just have some solar system simulator, just pinball, and a 3D platform called Witcher Shadow of the Metal Mama's Jam All-Star Edition HD Remix. Yes, I have that memorized too. Graphics class basically just taught us how to program with OpenGL and make graphics with them. So it's kind of hard working on these because we don't really have a game engine again. Also, I've been involved with another game lately, which is called Notori Inc. This game is basically like WarioWare, but with Toho characters. I'm helping out with programming a few of the microgames. If you want to try it out, check out the description for an awesome demo. I also made a small fireworks game in 30 minutes during a game development hangout to celebrate New Year's, and it's also kind of based off a WarioWare microgame. Then there's also this game I made for my maid cafe, where we get the audience involved in choosing what attacks to use, and we will act it out in real life. The game is just there to display the health and damages on the projector screen. Also, I joined my first global game jam at the beginning of 2017. We ended up with a game called Moon Mage. The concept of manipulating tides to solve puzzles is cool, but we ran out of time to finish it. Also, I didn't know how to make a browser game using Java, so I ended up being just the artist.
have gained the ability to air dash. Press B while in midair to air dash.
And that wraps it up. Honestly, I thought it was the end of game development for me because I was the only person left in Lane Dimension, but there's been so many people and developers I've met along the way that inspired me to keep moving forward. I've been slowly rebuilding the team too, so we're gonna have original assets. Other games like Helen's Mysterious Castle and Triple Sex also have helped inspire me since they use many pre-made assets and still stand as great games. This may sound like I've been leaning towards a serious side of game development, but do not worry, I will always make meme games.